fixing and how?
I would address the tanking. That'd be the first thing that I would do it, and then I would seriously sit down with the rules and say, okay, if we're gonna call the game this way, then let's make the rules this way.
Right.
Because I'm so like we were talking about. I'm just so fucking tired of watching the Rockets, and it just feels fraudulent to me. Like it doesn't feel like real basketball. And then they tout these dudes. They're like, oh, he's a superstar. It's like, well, you kind of.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't earn, like, anything that he gets. He doesn't earn it. You know what I mean?
Well, he has the weird, like, Harden is popular with the younger.
Absolutely.
The highlight reel generation, right? Because that's what they'll see him
no,
on Twitter.
No risk, high reward.
Oh, he's took an ankle. And you're like, yeah, but he also took, 9 steps. Like, it doesn't, whatever.
No, he didn't break that guy's ankles. The guy fell because he shoved him.
Right?
But before he did a double jump step back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I think, but that's what I mean. I think you have, because how do you stop? Because flopping and calling the rules, I think, are kind of the same thing.
Kind of, yeah.
How do you crimp this, right?
Right.
For me, I want in-game technicals for flops. And then I think you have to, after the game.
I'm with you on that.
You have the league office watch questionable plays.
Sure.
You got to start finding the shit out
Everybody.
of people. Like, you got to find the fuck.
I don't care if it's fucking TJ Leaf, fine him.
Yeah.
If it's LeBron, fine him. Yeah.
I'm not even talking about players. If you are a referee and you let James Harden get 5 push-offs in a game, right? Set the threshold. You get to miss X amount of calls because this is a really hard game to officiate. But let's say they played the Mavs the other night, right? Houston.
Right.
And the Mavs send in a tape, and they're like, we think these 10 plays were wrong, right? All these teams do these post-game analysis now. If the league can say you let James Harden push off 8 times, you're suspended for 3 games.
Yeah, but see, all these leagues are so prideful about their officiating.
Which is weird. I feel like officials are getting worse. They're not getting worse. We just see more evidence.
Well, so like the pass interference shit in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you can review it. And they're getting overturned at like a 7% rate.
Yeah.
When they're clearly pass interference or non-pass, they just are refusing to overturn them, and just let except for it was funny because yesterday the fucking Saints got that no call, which got reviewed and it got overturned to a pass interference like near the goal line or whatever. So like the Saints, who that rule was put in place for because they got so butt fucked on it last year.
By the way, Sean Payton
turn around and get fucked by their own rule because it's like that call. They haven't overturned all year.
Yeah.
They haven't. I mean, it's been brought up 100 times and they haven't and then the one time they fucking do it. I was watching that game and I just kind of chuckled a little bit.
You could tell in the post game where Sean Payton, I think his exact phrase was, "That's not how we wrote it." And I was like, he helped write it.
Yeah.
Because
he drafted because a guy got like flat out murdered.
He essentially like, Myles Garretted a guy last year, and they got away with it.
But the point I guess I'm making is like they're so prideful on this, because and the reason that's happening is because they don't want to admit that the officiating is missing calls.
Right.
So they just come back and they don't overturn it. They just call stands so that they can say, look, we got the call right.
Right.
By the numbers, by their percentages.
Right.
And I think that's what you see in the NBA too. It is like that game earlier in the year, I was watching the Pacers game, and I think it was against the Hornets, and they shot 42 free throws, and the Pacers shot 7.
Right.
We had a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden they shot like 25 free throws that quarter.
Yeah.
We shot none, and then all of a sudden the game went to overtime. And then like
they're like
the
calling
NBA's,
LeBron, hey, can we borrow your stationery?
And the NBA statement, because like the NBA does like the 2-minute report after each game, and every time they come back in that 2-minute report, everything looked good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're watching these games, you're like, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. But they'll never admit it.
They're like my kids'
they don't want to
teachers.
admit
that is a good dog, gold sticker.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But they don't want to admit that they have a fault in their officiating, because I don't know why they think that egg would look so bad on their face.
Yeah.
Versus if they address it and go, yeah, we got to clean this up. I think it would make people more happy
than
to have you just consistently run out and go, no, we got that right. Like when clearly you didn't.
And this is the thing. They're not fooling anyone, because every single night NBA Twitter is just, here's a misplay, here's a bad call, here's a travel.
Yeah.
This should have been we see it. That's the thing is, back in the 70s, right, when we were,
one game on TV, there's no footage, then you can get away with that shit.
The local Kansas City reporter, Whiskey Dick Roberts, said the game was played tough and fair. And that's all we knew, right? That's gone. We see every angle. We see every James Harden infraction. We see LeBron flop.
And and not only that, like you're seeing it in real time, but everywhere, YouTube, every vlog,
Twitter,
you see that
HD,
just that clip
TikTok.
of that play,
Yeah.
no matter who it is, 10,000 times the next day.
And that's what I
Yeah.
mean. It can't be good when the news cycle is not about the game.
And you'll be hard pressed to find the NBA ever going, yeah, we got that wrong, or the NFL going, yeah, we got that wrong.
Yeah.
Like, hard pressed to find any of that versus all the
That's what I
shit you
hate.
see.
And I feel like that's the thing I like about Adam Silver versus Goodell, right? Goodell's just like an actual human puppet, right? Like he just has 32 old white man hands right up his asshole, and he gets worked from the mouth.
Right.
I think Silver is forward thinking enough that he kind of gets it.
Of the commissioners, he's probably the most forward thinking
Yeah, and
in
that's
the major
why
sports.
I think there's hope because the NBA is the sport that trends most popular to the youngest audience.
Yep.
And they are the ones who are going to be okay with
They have the
changing
most
it.
ideal demographic in terms of like that younger,
Yeah, I mean, it's like baseball's nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
It's like we can see that X old man behind the plate
Right.
is not calling a good
Well,
strike
and that's
zone.
the thing. But
And they're like, they do an excellent job. No, they don't.
I don't like the robot umpire thing. I know you do.
Super
But
into
the reason the MLB is resistant to that is because they don't want to say that they have bad umpires,
Right.
a bad officiate. I don't know why these leagues are so fucking adamant. They're like, no, we got it right. Like,
Yeah.
well, no, you don't. Like,
Well, it's the only
some shit
place-
needs to change. You
It's
know?
the only place in life, right, where we still argue that machines can do something less well than humans.
Right.
There is no, like, now they have machines that can perform eye surgery,
Right.
right? Like, they've seen it, like, sew a grape skin back on.
Right.
You're like, okay, there's no arguing. We're not like, yeah, that was a pretty shitty stitching, right? Like, we're just not doing that.
Yeah.
We don't do that. Like, oh, car factories were so much better when we had 4 extra alcoholics at the end of the line, right?
Right.